Welcome to today's discussion on the value of supply. We have done predominant of the discussions, be it when a transaction value will be accepted, or it is going to be your discussions relating to what will be included in value of supply or what will not be included in value of supply in case if the two conditions listed under section 15 is not satisfied, how to chronologically apply rule 27, 28, 29 and followed by rule 30 and 31 in case of certain specified businesses, something like life insurance business, foreign exchange dealer, air travel agent, used goods dealers, how the value of supply need to be determined. Section 15(5) read along with the respective rule, rule 32. All this we understood, including how to determine value of supply in case of import of goods or services or export of goods or services. And in case a person has not collected GST, how GST can be collected. All this is done by us, but for one topic called as reimbursement of expenses. As a registered person in my business model, rarely I'm allowed to collect some expenses as reimbursement. Let's all fundamentally understand. I'm sure all of you will agree with me also that reimbursements means where a money is incurred by one person. Later on, the other person reimburse exactly the same amount, which means there is nothing in excess. Fundamental principle of reimbursements. If I say 10,000 rupees is collected by me for this particular purpose as reimbursement, which means on the 10,000 rupees, one, I never had a profit margin. Two, it goes without saying that is not the expenses incurred by me. I incur this expense on for and behalf of another person. So technically the supplier incur an expenditure, but out of this expenditure, supplier is not benefited, only the recipient is benefited. You can ask me a fundamental question. For that, recipient himself can manage, no, sir. Recipient himself can pay, no. I think I've already shared with you. See, sometimes it's easy for a lot of us to be in touch with only one person. That too, preferably in business. I would be interested in dealing with one person. Let that one person deal with 5%. He has to pay, let him pay to 5. Let it collect from me end of the day. See, some of business today operate in these models also. Let me repeat, not every person you see will have reimbursement of expenses. Professionals, to a smaller extent, they enjoy a reimbursement. Post-professionals, certain specific businesses, uh, preferably in connection with import and export of goods, or any government-based licensing activity, those people alone involve these activities of pure agent. Coming back here, getting into the specific term called as value of supply, pure agent reimbursements. Value of supply. Any expenditure or any reimbursement, I will not use the word expenditure, any reimbursement as a pure agent will not be included in value of supply. Let me repeat, any reimbursement as a pure agent will not be included in value of supply. Mark my word, this is a greatest gift. So whatever be those expenditure that are reimbursed, that reimbursement, if it is a pure agent reimbursement, then it will not be included in value of supply. Sir, how do I know about that? Come back here. Take a point where it is very clearly said, if all the above conditions are satisfied, cost incurred by the supplier as a pure agent shall be excluded from the value of supply. whatever money they incur will be excluded from value of supply, provided if all the conditions that are listed here are followed. What are the conditions that are listed here? First condition, supplier acts as a pure agent of recipient. Supplier acts as a pure agent. Recipient of the supply, recipient of the supply uses the service. Recipient of supply is liable to pay tax. Recipient authorizes the supplier to pay tax on his behalf. Recipient of the supply is know or he is aware that the services or the goods so supplied is procured from or provided by a third party. They are aware this is not this fellow goods or service, it is somebody else goods or services. Payment which is being collected as reimbursement is shown separately in the invoice, followed by separately shown in the invoice, and he recovers exactly only the reimbursement related matter. Now, all those services which are procured and supplied by the pure agent are in addition to his own account. He involves his supply additionally. I do agree. I quickly concluded all those conditions that are listed here. Roughly about 8 conditions you will have. Okay, will we when we break it into tiny and minor conditions, it will go up to 13 conditions. But broadly, major are 8. Supplier should act as a pure agent for which there has to be an agreement. Let me repeat. There has to be an agreement where the supplier acts as a pure agent of the recipient of supply. Similarly, recipient of supply uses the service. The goods or services so procured is used by recipient. The goods or services so the goods or services so procured which is used by the recipient, actually the recipient is liable to make payment to third party. Recipient authorizes the supplier to make payment, supplier makes payment to third party. Recipient knows that the goods or services so procured are taken from the outside market which belongs to a third person. The payment is made exactly by the supplier to the third party, and the supplier recovers exactly the same amount. And it is also disclosed in the invoice separately. Now, when all these conditions are satisfied and the supply of service by the supplier is different, what he procured and given, supply which are procured from third party, all two are different. If that be the case, then the reimbursement, pure agent reimbursement, will not be included in value of supply. Now, we'll do one thing. We'll take a small diagrammatic discussion of this aspect and then move forward from here. Coming back here. 1 minute. Let's take a situation where there is a factory. That factory is going to be called as supplier of recipient of CHA services. So now the factory becomes the recipient of CHA services, customs house agent services. CHA becomes the supplier of customs house agent services. CHA services yes. Now, customs house agent whose main activity is going to be clearing goods from the customs port. This customs house agent whose main service is going to be clearing goods from the customs port, and he does not involved in any other activity. This customs house agent is providing services to a factory which manufacture goods. They want to import the goods. Those activities are done by him. Now, usually, he will file necessary documents such as bill of entry, certain other documents, follow it up with customs authority, ensure for a smooth clearing of goods for the purpose of either import of goods or export of goods, for which he collects some service charges. All that is as part of their regular discussions and regular business aspects. Now, what is special is 1 month when they are importing the goods, the factory told, now we are in little challenging times, so we request you to pay customs duty at the time of import of goods. Let me repeat. He requested the other person to pay a customs duty. More specifically, the factory who is the recipient requested the supplier to pay tax at the time of import of goods. The factory said, yes, 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 why not? I will pay customs duty on your behalf. And immediately the factory also told that we will pay you back customs duty CHA, but again, collect from us as reimbursement. A situation could be like this. Or usually the responsibility to clear the goods is only with the CHA. The responsibility of transportation of goods is always going to be that of factory. But this time factory never had a vehicle. The responsibility for transportation of goods is sent to CHA. So CHA is now engaged in transportation of goods from customs port to factory. Now, usually they'll have their vehicle, so this is not a criterion. This time alone, they never had their vehicle. So they requested the customs house agent to send to ensure he takes a container for hire and load the goods and send it back. Now, something very interesting to be noted down here is all this are not original activity of CHA. CHA main activity is filing of shipping bill, filing of bill of entry, determining customs duty and stopping it there, filing, clearing the goods from customs port, at least taking the goods from customs port, paying customs duty. All these are all work of the respective importer. In our case, it is going to be factory. The end line that we want to discuss over here is, let's say for all these engagement, transportation, he collected, or customs duty, he collected 10,000 rupees. Actually, he has paid only 10,000 rupees. Whether this 10,000 rupees will be included in value of supply or excluded from value of supply, when we get into that test, we'll go one after the other. Is there is a written agreement? Is there is an, I would not use the word written agreement. Is there is an agreement between supplier CHA and recipient that CHA will act as a agent of the recipient? Yes, there is an agreement which says that CHA is allowed to incur expenditure on behalf of the company. Good. In between, CHA provided its services. CHA also taken services from third parties. Now, CHA has used the third party services and supplied some transportation of goods service or hiring of motor vehicle or paying the customs duty, which all need to be reimbursed. Now, when factory reimburse this amount, factory knows that they are not paying to the supplier of the service, they are paying to a recipient who they have authorized to make payment. Similarly, CHA who's the recipient, who's the supplier, this supplier recovers exactly same 10,000 rupees from the recipient. The recipient pay exactly 10,000 rupees. The benefit of transportation of goods service, the benefit of customs duty, that is the import of goods, all that benefit goes to the supplier. And as far as the, all those benefit goes to the recipient. As far as the supplier is concerned, supplier is not enjoying any goods or services. Hence, this 10,000 rupees will not be included in value of supply. Quickly, I'll do one thing. In the same example, I'll just put some information alone. You all decided where there is going to be a chart accountant or a cost accountant or a company secretary. Now, this person, CA, CMA, CS, this person gets a work from Mr. PQ, an individual. He gets a work from Mr. PQ, an individual. Mr. PQ wants his return, income tax return to be filed. These respective CA, CMA, CS told, yes, we will file and give you the income tax return. But the filing fees that we will collect is rupees 2,500 rupees. We'll collect 2,500 rupees as filing fee, which you have to pay at the time of completion of service. Now, very interesting to note here is Mr. P becomes the recipient of service and the respective CACMACS individual becomes the supplier of service. Done. So something very carefully we have to note down over here is he has not only collected 2,500 rupees as consultancy charges, he also collected the tax amount payable, which is rupees 10,350. The only question that I'm going to ask before you is, no doubt this company, this individual is liable to pay GST. This individual is liable to pay GST. The value of supply under GST is going to be 10,350 or 15,550 or 2,500 500, I had not give 2,500. 10,350 or sorry. 10,350. Need ignore my third option. 15,350. Yes, I think I've done with the question. So it's your turn now. All that I request you here is CA, CMA, CS has to pay GST on what number? 10,000 through 50, 15,350, or in none of the above. They have to pay GST on what number? Yes. Quick. Individual provide consultancy service for which he collects some money, plus he also pays tax on behalf of his client. He collects some money including that. See, let me repeat it. Income tax consultancy is 2,500 and income tax amount collected is 10,350. Total put together 15,350. Quick. Come on, quick. A very simple question. As simple as that, you're going to pay tax on 2,500 or 15,350. That's all. Never 10,350 can be an answer. Let me repeat. Your answers are going to be either 2,500 or 15, 12,850. Everybody is wondering. I'm sorry. 12,850. Number max, பயங்கரமான max. Sorry. 12,500 or yes. So the tax can be considered as reimbursement. The answer is yes. Sir, I don't pay tax, sir, but I'm a company secretary. I collect ROC charges from the director for incorporating the company. The answer would be same, is equivalent to tax. Again, don't be much bothered about it. These are all will be excluded from the value of supply because verbatim you will satisfy all the conditions that we have discussed just a minute before. Come back here, you will satisfy all those conditions. Not even a single condition will be left. You act as an agent of the recipient. Recipient uses the service. Recipient is liable to pay tax. Recipient authorizes the third person to pay tax. And recipient makes, recipient ensures that the supplier ensure the recipient makes payment to third party, recover exactly same money, show in the invoice separately, whatever services provided by that respective individual and the recipient, both are different. When all these conditions are satisfied, it will be excluded from value of supply. As it has been discussed earlier, 2,500 rupees alone will be value of supply. I'll do one thing. Yeah. This time it is little different. This time it is a supplier of service is a real estate agent. Supplier is a real estate agent. Assume for a moment you are the recipient. You're going to be the recipient of service. Supplier of service is going to be the real estate agent. There is going to be a recipient of service, which is going to be you. The supplier of service is aware that the recipient, you have a plot of land. You have a land for sale, which you are interested in selling it for 15 crores. Okay. Don't ask me how the supplier know that you have a land. Definitely don't ask me. In my view, that and all can be known. There's nothing not possible at all. Or some discussions you want to be very clean. You often travel to foreign country and all, and you don't foresee a possibility of usage of this land, which is purchased a long time before. So you decided to sell this land. Now, having you decided to sell this land, there are two options. Option one, you can sell the land at outright, take the money, put it in a bank account and walk away. Option two is joint development. For various reasons, you are not interested in joint development because that is a separate activity by itself. So you thought we will sell the land and walk away. Now the whole agreement is worded like this. The term sheet between you and the supplier is worded like this. Now the term says that as per the contract, the agent is entitled, as per the contract, the agent is entitled for a 2% commission on sale of immovable property. A 2% commission on sale of immovable property. It does not stop there. Plus reimburse of advertisement expenses. So the supplier whose main business is going to be real estate, this fellow comes and sees this advertisement. He finds this advertisement is little attractive and he started to think about buying a property of this size. One of the additional condition is whatever reimbursement of additional advertisement expenses he incur, that will be reimbursed on actual. Advertisement expenses will be reimbursed on actuals. If you say what is the actual reimbursement, that will be done. Now here property was sold. Property was sold for 10 crore rupee. Because the property was sold for 10 crore rupees. So The property was sold for 10 crore rupees into 2% was given as commission. The question is not here at all. Apart from this 2% commission, also they paid him rupees 3.5 lakhs towards advertisement. Apart from this, they also paid him rupees 3.5 lakhs towards advertisement. Rupees 3.5 lakhs was the actual money expended, for which the proof everything is given. Now, the land will be advertised. If you go back and see the advertisement, the land advertisement will be there. The land advertisement and all you can very well see. Land advertisement will be there in the newspaper. But very interesting to note, below the contact number, the mobile number, mail ID will be that of your recipient of service. The contact details will be that recipient of service. Why you are referring to advertisements and all? I'm just referring to an advertisement where the land, that respective person's land detail and all is there. But if you are interested, then call the supplier of service. Call the supplier of service, the recipient of service, the phone number of the supplier of service. Everywhere supplier of service or supplier of service office alone information will be given. See, by and large, this is what I want to drive. Now, my question is very simple. You all will also know. GST is payable on 10 crore into 2%, which is going to be 2 lakhs. Sorry, not 2 lakhs. 20 lakhs. Or GST is payable on 23 lakh 50,000. Question is that so? Is it 20 lakhs or 23 lakh 50,000? Let's be little conscious on this. Yes. Will it be on 23 lakh 50,000 or on 20 lakhs? Is going to be a clear question for us. I think this is a case study question which earlier appeared. So maybe with that we can close 23.5 lakhs or 20 lakhs. Priya Mohan 23.5 lakhs. Pavitra 20 lakhs. Prasad 23.5 lakhs. Vaishnavi 20 lakhs. Sai Subramaniam 23.5 lakhs. Shweta 20 lakhs. Ambika, it's not a pure agent service. The recipient didn't enjoy the service because the advertisement, the contact details, everything is that of supplier. The supplier has used the service, hence it is 23.5 lakhs. You are very much right, Ambika. It will be 23.5 lakhs because this 3.5 lakhs cannot be considered as reimbursement. No, sir. Property details of recipient only is mentioned. No, property details of recipient and all mentioned. Who will contact? If I saw the advertisement, I'm contacting whom? Contacting the agent or or contacting the recipient or supplier. Recipient means the services which is used, the advertisement services that are used, that advertisement service benefits your recipient. So it cannot be considered as a pure agent reimbursement. Hence, it will be included in value of supply. A very unique entry. Make yourself comfortable relating to this entry. So that sums up our discussion, which was a pending discussion on value of supply. Beyond that, I don't have anything in relation to value of supply. Any doubts on this ground? Yes, I would take it up. On value of supply, you can raise your hand or you can text it. I would recommend if you want, you have a doubt, you can raise your hand. That's better. Else, we can move forward to a next topic for the day, which is going to be a pet topic of mine and a very important topic from an exam perspective, which is going to be input tax credit. Sure shot exam after exam, we are getting an evidence that this topic is standard test for 8 to 10 marks based on the sure 10 marks. Mark your next maybe 8 to 10 hours of 5 class session. Uh, Nothing great about it, just 6 sections, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 6 sections. Rule 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. 10 rules. 10 rules, 6 section, in total 16 in number. But a lot to discuss, unimaginably a lot to discuss, and iteration, thought process, variety, fine learning, level 2 discussion, level 3 discussion, level 1, all of you know, level 2, level 3, level 4. If it is like this, then situation is like this. If it is like this, then situation is like this. If it is like this, then situation like that. You have a lot of iteration to go here. Because a small factual change, let me repeat, a very, very small factual change will bring a very big change into input tax credit. And I'm sure everybody will agree with me. One of the prime reason for implementing GST is input tax credit. Input tax credit, no doubt, is a very prime reason for implementing GST. So having said all this about as a basic introduction to GST, as I earlier said, the topics is very simple. To start with some basic definitions, yes, no doubt. Input tax word is defined. Input tax in relation to a taxable person means credit of, mean, or a tax credit of IGST, CGST, SGST, charged on, tax charged on various supply of goods or services, including tax paid under RCM. Sometimes a lot of us will have a doubt whether on the tax paid or payable under RCM, am I eligible to take credit? See, levy is different, ITC is different. Levy, yes, sir, I would pay tax, and maybe in the same month or in the next month, you are entitled to claim credit. Preferably same month, because of that is how the model will go. If you have RCM liability, in one end you will pay, in other end you will take claim credit. Sir, why I have to pay, why I have to claim credit? Understand, not everybody is eligible to claim ITC. Again, not everybody on everything is eligible to claim full ITC. Again, not everybody claims full ITC. This is a learning by itself. If you ask, sir, whether whoever pays RCM, all are liable for ITC or are eligible for ITC, my answer is no. A very best and a classic example could be somebody is involved in transportation of certain types of exempted goods, certain types of spices which are exempted. But unfortunately, just for you, I'll keep you reminded that in case of transportation of these spices are liable for GST. Now, are they eligible to claim credit? The answer is no, they are not liable. They are not eligible to claim credit. Yes. So it depends. It depends on various aspects associated with it. So my contention here, the point that I want you to appreciate here is input tax credit means credit of input tax. Input tax credit means credit of input tax. Input tax means tax paid on goods or services, either CGST, SGST, IGST, UTGST. These taxes alone, it includes RCM and it excludes composition levy. If a tax paid under composition levy, then it is not eligible for input tax. A tax paid under composition levy is not eligible for input tax. So to start with, maybe today as an introductory section, we will close section 16. Section 16 discuss about eligibility to claim input tax. Section 16 has 4 subsections, 16.1, 2, 3 and 4. 16.1 makes the first step that the eligibility to claim credit is the person has to be a registered person under GST. If you are a registered person, you are eligible to claim credit. On what? On all those goods or services which are either used or intended to be used in the course or furtherance of business. I should be a registered person. I am in receipt of ITC of goods, services. That goods or services should be used or intended to be used in the course or furtherance of business. Then yes, I am eligible to claim credit. Additionally, that goods or services which are used by me should be used for outward supply, which is going to be either taxable or zero rated supply, which is export. The outward supply for effecting, understand that word, important word, effecting taxable supply or zero rated supply. Taxable supply means outward supply. For effecting an outward taxable supply, if you want, you can amend it and understand it. Outward, it is not an inward, outward. Zero rated supply can always be outward only, but taxable supply we will have a doubt. It is inward or outward, outward. All those, every person is eligible to claim, every registered person is eligible to claim ITC on all those goods or services which are used or intended to be used in the course or furtherance of business. If all those goods or services which are used or intended to be used in the course or furtherance of business, they are eligible to claim ITC. I'll give you a simple example. A company purchased 4 machines during the year, four machines. Of the 3 machines always been used, the 4th machine was kept idle. You can ask me, sir, why you never use the 4th machine? If any of the 3 machine breaks down, then the 4th machine will be used. Otherwise, it will be summa. Sir, enna panninu irkeenga? Summa irukken. The same way. What it is? It's often called as if any challenge happens, if the production line gets stops, so the purpose of installing that machine itself, everyone knows that in case of any lag, in case the production line is not support, then only that machine will be on, otherwise it will be stopped. The question that is posed to us in one of the exams is whether on the 4th mission, ITC can be claimed. Can ITC be claimed on the 4th mission, which is not at all put to use in the last year? So why not put to use? Because it is a breakdown mission and step down mission, an additional mission. What is a step down mission? If anything happens, only I will claim. Otherwise, I will not claim. So if you technically ask me, is the mission is used? The answer is no. Not even one day I press the green button of that mission. எனக்கு தெரியும்ல, நான் தான் ரெக்கார்ட் எழுதி வச்சிருக்கேன்ல எந்த மிஷின் யூஸ் ஆகுதுன்னு. So not even a single day I pressed it. Can I claim ITC? Is the question before. Because the good should be used, services should be used. Yes or no? Yes, ITC can be claimed, or no, ITC cannot be claimed. A lot of you are all answering. Good. All of you all right. ITC can be claimed. Why, sir? Very simple reason. They are eligible because the machine is not actively used. It is what? Passively used. Or a ready to use is also called as used. Understand? Used is a very small word, but it has various interpretations. Now, one step forward itself, they went. Intention to use, if that is there, that is sufficient to claim credit. An intention to use is there, that is sufficient because it is used or intended to be used. Yet another question in connection with section 16 only. This time it was the laminated paper is the product. See, I'm sure you all will know that laminated paper means along with the uh, brown cover, one small glass sheet will run, which gives additional ability to withstand the box. It just gives an additional ability to withstand whatever water. If water is being dropped on it, you can wipe it off. The box life is extended by little more years. Now, core discussion of us is regular paper will be made. That paper will be connected through the conveyor belt into a machine. There is a machine which will automatically, what is it, spray the glue. And there is a heat roller. That heat roller, one end will be connected with the glass plate, glass cover. That glass cover will come and touch up the brown paper where on which glue is sprayed. So it automatically goes for a heating process. It goes heated and then comes out as a paper, which is a laminated paper. Okay. Now, core discussion for us. It's an exclusive glue procured from one of the very leading company called as Anabond. Anabond supplies glue for laminated paper. Suddenly a doubt came to Anabond. Not Anabond. Suddenly a doubt came to this paper manufacturing company who makes laminated paper. On the glue, can they avail ITC? On the glue which is used, can they avail ITC? Now, why I'm asking is it is not present in the final product. If you go and search where is the glue, it is not there in the paper. Can ITC be claimed on the glue? Yes or no? Question sounds simple, but the same question was appeared in exam for 4 marks. Yes, quick. Yes. ITC can be claimed, ITC cannot be claimed. ITC can be claimed or ITC cannot be claimed. As you all mentioned, ITC can be very comfortably claimed. See, whether it is present in the final product or not, whether it is visible, whether it is not visible, whether it is being consumed in the process of manufacturing, is it used? Again, actively used, not passively used. Passively used, not active use, active use, passive use, ready to use, contained in the product, not contained in the product, all are used. And on all these items, be it goods, be it services, be it your capital goods. When we go to 17, we will have the definition for all these words. Input, services, and capital goods. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Inputs. Look at that wording, inputs, definition. We will read definition, not 17. Definition alone. For want of space, it is squeezed here. Definition alone. Input means Any goods. Look at that wording. Any goods other than capital goods, which are used or intended to be used in the course or furtherance of business. If you're going to use it in the course or furtherance of business, it could be your raw material, it could be your consumable, it could be your packing material, it could be your printing and stationery items, it could be your tools, tackles, anything. All are inputs. Consumables, raw material, mixing material, packing material, all. Then what is input services? Sir, input service means any service. Look at that wideness that this section brings. This section is a means section. Means that's all. Beyond that, there's nothing. Input service means any service. Any service means it could be auditing, accounting, credit rating, share registry, computer networking, consulting, renting, security, manpower supply, what not. Any services used or intended to be used by a supplier in the course or furtherance of business. So be it goods, be it services, as long as it is connected with business, a person is eligible to claim ITC. Same in the case of capital goods, but with only one restriction. Capital goods means the value of which is capitalized in the books of accounts of the assets. All those goods which are capitalized in the books of accounts of the assessee. So what is capital goods? That will differ from company to company. We will refer or we will see. They bought a machinery and took to fix the asset schedule. Then it is capitalized. They bought a machinery and charged to P&L. Never it will happen. Kindly understand. Sir, if they charge to P&L, then it is not treated as capital goods. They have not capitalized, not treated as capital goods. So input means all goods which are used or intended to be used for furtherance of business other than capital goods. Capital goods means all those goods which are capitalized in the books of accounts of assessee. And input services means all those services used by a person for his furtherance of business. Coming back here, ITC can be taken on 3 items, 3 taxes, and the last 3 is going to be by 3 persons. What is this trilogy? See, this trilogy plays a very big term. ITC is a trilogy acronym. RCM is a trilogy acronym. Trilogy is a great aspect here. Manufacturer is eligible to claim credit. Service provider is eligible to claim credit. Trader is eligible to claim credit. Only 3% can take credit. He can be in the business of manufacture of goods. He can be in the business of trading in goods. He can be in the business of service industry. Only 3% can take credit. Or person who is doing this 3 type of business, he is alone eligible to take credit. Only on 3 taxes a person can take credit, which is going to be IGST, CGST, SGST or UTGST. So only on 3 taxes a person is eligible to take credit. The last trilogy is only on 3 items a person can take credit. What are those 3 items? Input, input services and capital goods. Input. All goods other than capital goods is treated as input. All services other than, all services are treated as input services. Capital goods, all goods which are capitalized in the books of accounts of an assessee are called as capital goods. Sir, how I will know a goods is capital goods or not? See the books of accounts. If in the books of accounts it is capitalized, then it is capital goods. Otherwise, it is not a capital goods. So coming back here, getting into section 16 subsection 1, which comes out and fix the eligibility. Only a registered person is eligible to take credit. That too a registered person use the goods or services for furtherance of business, then he is eligible to claim ITC. Are there any conditions for claiming ITC? Yes, we have 4 conditions for claiming ITC. Section 16 subsection 2. comes out and lists what are the conditions based on which credit can be claimed. The conditions for claiming ITC is going to be a person who claim ITC should be in possession of a valid tax invoice. If you are in possession of a valid tax invoice, then no doubt you are entitled to claim ITC. Sir, I have the original copy of bill. Can I claim ITC? Yes. I have a photocopy of the invoice. Can I claim ITC? No. Based on original document of invoice, a person is eligible to claim ITC. One. A next doubt comes whether once I receive the goods, can I claim credit? Once I receive the invoice, can I claim credit? No, the second subsection comes out and highlights that only after receipt of goods, only after receipt of service, a person is eligible to claim ITC. So I should first receive the invoice. I should receive the goods or services. Then am I eligible? Yes, you are eligible. But ensure your supplier has paid tax to the government. Also further ensure the supplier has filed the return. So I should ensure I have a valid document. 2, I should also ensure that I have received the goods or services. 3, the person from whom I procure, who is generally called as supplier, that fellow should have paid the tax to government. 4, my supplier should have filed the return with the government. If all these 4 conditions are satisfied, then I am eligible to claim credit. What happens practically is, we all virtually received the invoice, but physically the invoice is coming. That's okay. That's because of the digital era. We are all doing that. For which also we have an answer. As long as if it is a digital invoice, you are eligible to claim credit. But it is not a digital invoice, then based on manual invoice only, you can claim credit. No, but that is a little rare. Sometimes what happens is, which we have also discussed, A Limited has to supply goods to C Limited as per the instructions of B Limited. Sir, somewhere we read all this, sir. Yes. As part of our bill to ship to transaction, we discussed A Limited is the supplier. B Limited is the third person who has given instruction. C Limited is the recipient. Now, no doubt goods can be transferred. All of us know. Can service be transferred to these locations? Can you transfer any services to these locations? Is it possible? Or in those locations, have they received the goods? Have they received these services? All comes into a further discussion or a next level discussion. Just give me a minute, 1 minute. As far as the conditions to claim credit is concerned, if these 4 conditions are satisfied, a person is eligible to claim credit, which we all know. A person who is going to take credit should be in possession of a valid invoice or a debit note issued by the supplier. If A Limited is going to claim credit, A Limited should ensure that they have a valid invoice or a debit note to claim credit. A Limited should have received the goods or received the services, then only they are eligible to claim credit. Else they are not eligible to claim credit. A Limited has procured the goods from B Limited. So for this discussion, A Limited who is going to claim credit will be treated as a recipient. The person who supplied the goods would be treated as supplier. That supplier should have paid a tax to government. And supplier should have filed the return so that automatically data comes and reflect in my account. So kindly make a note, two responsibilities of the recipient, two responsibilities of the supplier. Recipient should be in possession of valid document and invoice. Recipient should have received the goods or services. Supplier should have paid the tax to government. Supplier should have filed the return. If all these four conditions are satisfied, I am eligible to claim credit. A Limited, who's the supplier, supplied goods to B Limited. But B Limited told, don't deliver it to me, deliver at C Limited, C Limited's location. Now the fundamental question that I'm going to ask you is, has B Limited received the goods? Yes or no? This is a bill to ship to transaction. In a bill to ship to transaction, in a bill to ship to transaction, the third person, who received the goods, the third person who received the goods, has he received the goods or he has not received the goods? I want a frank answer. A lot of you here, I want consciously answer. Then only we can discuss one new proviso which amended from 1st February 2019, not tested in last attempt exam. Possibility of being tested in this attempt is yes. Does be very clear on your example. A Limited is supplying goods. B Limited is the third person. On B Limited instruction, C Limited goods goes directly from A Limited factory to C Limited factory. Goods will go, but bill will go where? Bill will go to B Limited. Who will make payment? B Limited. What is the place of supply? B Limited. Has B Limited received the goods? Yes, no. Quick. Yes or no? Has B Limited received the goods? The answer is a very simple yes or no. The answer is no. B Limited has not received the goods. Then how they can take credit? That is why the section is amended saying that the receipt will be treated as a deemed receipt. Let me repeat, it will be treated as deemed receipt of goods or services. Just to enable and protect bill to ship to transaction, make yourself comfortable, will be tested in exam. New amendment, see, not GST law, taxation law itself, எப்போதுமே புது மாப்பிள்ள புது பொண்ணு மாதிரி. Okay, is taxation law is always a மாப்பிள்ள paper. Okay, or marriage paper, bridegroom, whatever you want to like it. Okay, so sir, no sir, I'm not interested in marriage. Then I don't know. Okay, I don't have an answer. But in case if you are interested in marriage at one point in time, you know, it has to be okay. குதிரைக்கு கடிவாளம் போட்டு தான் ஆகணும் அப்படின்றது they'll decide and it would happen. You and me are not exception, it's general. The point here which I want to drive home is, the moment a person decides all this, then the point was very clear that they should have received the goods or services. If they have received the goods or services, no doubt they are entitled to claim credit. But when goods itself not sent to them, how it is possible? Deemed receipt of goods, deemed receipt of services. The law creates a deeming fiction. Let me repeat it. Many times this deeming fiction would be helpful. One, not only for actual physical delivery it is important. Two, for deemed receipt also this is important. So my point here is very simple. I should be in possession of tax invoice. I should be registered person. I should be in possession of tax invoice or debit note. I should have received the goods or services. Then followed by my supplier should have paid tax to government and he should have filed a return. Why I referred it with a marriage is very simple. In exam, after marriage, first 1 week, either in the in-laws home or in your home, you'll be celebrated well. Once an amendment come, immediately it will come in the question paper. No jokes. This time, amendments which are pertaining from June 2019 till March 2020, all amendments are significant amendments. Let me repeat. Some of those amendments which are in Feb, March, April was also there. This is a Feb amendment, Feb 19 amendment, but there would have been a possibility it would have been touched up in the erstwhile exam. Now, as there are no possibilities, these are all important area. Make yourself comfortable. Once the 4-point test is over, the person is eligible to claim ITC. Sir, my goods comes in lot basis, which is generally known to us. Certain business model warrants receipt of goods in lot basis. It will come in lot only. Boiler will come in lot. Escalator will come in lot. Lift will come in lot. Certain other items comes in lot basis. 2 lots, 3 lots, 5 lots, it will come. 5 lots rare, but again, there are businesses which supply. In case of lot basis, ITC is eligible after receipt of last installment or lot. After receipt of last installment of goods. So this is the last goods. Remember that section 16(2) proviso. This is first proviso. You have to cross read with rule 55. If you want, you can make a note here. Rule 55, you have to cross read. Rule 55, sub rule 5 will discuss about meticulously. When I go there, I'll also highlight to you how in case of goods sent in lot basis, goods sent in CKD basis, SKD basis, semi knockdown condition, SKD, CKD, completely knockdown condition, CKD basis. When goods sent on CKD, SKD basis, how it has to be billed, a process is there. Once I'm going to supply you bill, I'll prepare the bill, but I'll keep it with me. I'll send you the original photocopy of me. Original bill will be with me. I'll send you only the certified copy or a photocopy of the bill along with my supply of goods. Along with the last installment only, I will issue the final invoice. Look from the other side, recipient side. At the time of last installment only, I'm eligible because only on the last installment it will come. See how a supplier has to deal with the lots, rule 55. How a recipient is eligible to claim credit, section 16(2) first proviso. Hope you could able to understand that differences. Sir, I want to know from the supplier's angle, sir. Okay, my client is supplying 5 lakh rupee worth of boiler. He will supply the goods in 3 installments. How he has to bill? Rule 55. Sir, I am a person, I'm receiving a boiler going to use in my factory. I'm eligible to claim credit and it is a capital goods to me. Good, you are eligible to claim. When I can take credit? Sir, that I pay first to 1.5 lakhs. Sir. Next to 1.5 lakhs, some more products will come. He will do some installation. Final bill I will pay 6 months later, sir. Then only the last lot will come. Good. After receipt of last lot, you are eligible. The second proviso to 16(2) comes out and highlighted. Whenever a person claim ITC, whenever a person claim input tax credit, he should ensure the payment to the supplier who supplied goods, who supplied services. Payment to the supplier is made within 180 days from the date of invoice. If I am going to claim input tax credit, I need to ensure my supplier is paid within 180 days. See, this is a genuinity problem here. See, with due respects, after supplying a service, I can wait in my profession for 30 days. Nyayama 31st day I will call. Because in a profession, 30 days, it's a long period. Just for your information, we will sometimes say after issuing invoices, payment has to be made within 1 week time. That's all. A profession can wait, that's all. A service industry can wait maximum 30 days. Sir, no, sir. In my service, it's a service industry, but it involves also goods and all, sir, like construction and all. I can wait for 60 days. Sir, I am out and out manufacturer. I can wait for 90 days, 90 days. See, because working capital limit, all that is there. Visualize panni parunga. But who can wait for 120 days and beyond 180 days? Then is it a genuine supply of goods or chumma bill? Sir, Adhinas are chumma bill. See, there is a fraud that will happen in GST, which you are also reading daily, 120 crore fraud. In Haryana, a group got arrested. In Tamil Nadu, Erode, a group got arrested. In Tamil Nadu, Karur, a group got arrested. In Chennai, one group got arrested. In Hosur, one group got arrested. In Bangalore, nobody, no area is left. Okay. Till now, in GST, the frauds committed are 18,000 crores. Sir, தலைவர் வந்தே 3 வருஷம் தானே சார் ஆயிருக்கு. 18,000 crores. Out of 18,000 crores, recovered tax is 9,000 crores. Sir, what do you mean by recovered tax? From the concerned person who did fraud, from him itself, they will recover it as a tax. A recovered tax. Why I want to highlight this aspect here is, in case of whenever a person claim ITC, payment has to be made within 180 days. It's discuss about a genuinity. It discuss about a genuinity. Sir, in case payment is not made within 180 days, be with me. Rule 37 is there. Exclusive rule 37 is there. If payment is not made within 180 days, then the amount of ITC claimed need to be reversed on the 181st day. Beautiful, sir. Along with interest, sir, from the day in which he took credit till the day in which he reversed. The amount of value not paid and the amount of ITC availed shall be reversed. So if I pay proportionately the amount, very simple, to the extent of proportion paid, you are eligible to claim credit. To the extent of proportion amount not paid, ITC is ineligible. Sir, my total bill including GST is 1,18,000. I have paid upfront 59,000 rupees to him. Balance 59 only is pending. Good. He would have availed entire ITC at the time of receipt of bill. He would have quietly waited for 6 months. And after 6 months, he forgot. Let me repeat it. He has to reverse on the 181st day ITC for 8,000 rupees. Sorry, 9,000 rupees. Sir, how you get this number? He has availed a total credit of 18,000 rupees. Have that as one number. Total amount payable 1,18,000. Have it as denominator. Numerator, how much amount paid? Amount paid divided by total amount including tax, total invoice value into ITC. You'll get one number. In our case, it was 50% verbatim. So 50% credit eligible, balance need to be reversed. This is understandable. If this one number is so much, how much is this number? 6th standard we read. Same logic. Apply it, get it. Crucial aspect, interest is payable from the date of availing ITC on such sum. That is the most important part. Many times we will think interest is after 180 days. No, interest is from the first day you took credit. That is why again and again we say in ITC, ensure payment is made within 180 days. All this is level 1 discussion to my understanding and to all of us. What is that level 2 discussion? At final, what I have to concentrate here. If a supplier fails to pay, it is a case where the supplier has accepted, or the supplier said, Maruti Suzuki Logistics Private Limited and Hyundai Motors India Limited has signed an agreement for transportation of goods, transportation of basically cars. Okay. Now, for all the transportation of goods, from date of invoice, payment will be made in 120 days. Okay. Or for certain invoices, payment will be made in 250 days. A contract is signed that for a particular type of invoices, payment is made within 120 days, and certain other invoices, payment is made in 240 days. I am not bothered about payment is made within 120 days. Park it, it's 4 months within which everything happens. In case of 240 days, where an agreement is signed, 240 days, payments are made. Whether ITC need to be reversed. In other words, in the last month, rupees 7 lakhs of CGST and SGST each was claimed as ITC by the company for transportation of goods, where payment will happen after 240 days. The day in which I pass the entry, on that day itself, I know I will not get the payment within 120 days. My fundamental question, whether ITC need to be reversed. Yes or no? Quick. Whether ITC need to be reversed. Special case, big companies, two big companies, Maruti Suzuki Logistics Private Limited has signed agreement with Hyundai Motors India Limited for transportation of goods, which is cars, from a particular point in Tamil Nadu or Hyderabad, Tamil Nadu or Bangalore to a particular destination, for which they received the invoice, and the GST involved in the invoice is 7 lakh CGST and 7 lakh SGST. And as per the terms of contract, payment will be made after 240 days. Whether ITC need to be reversed under 16.2. And for your information, first, company has claimed ITC. If you ask me, yes, company has claimed ITC. Does ITC need to be reversed? ITC need to be reversed or ITC need not be reversed? Hari Prakash, nice answer. Quick. ITC need to be reversed, ITC need not be reversed. See, understand? Somebody virtually present can answer, all of us can answer. Let me, again and again, I'm trying. This is the only way you make two things. My session monotonous. I somehow get a feeling of monotony that is getting stopped. Two, acknowledgement from your end gives me a comfort that yes, all of us are on same page, which is little more important. Otherwise, I would be on one direction. If all of us are on another directions and few of us are on different direction, then the consensus is not possible. Quick. ITC need to be reversed or need not be reversed? A plain reading, all of us will say ITC need to be reversed. Why, sir? Very simple. Payment is not made, no. But kindly get into a contract like this. I have cautioned you. This is a special contract. Look the terms of contract. At the moment itself, when I receive an invoice, am I not aware that I will not make payment within 180 days? My payment terms itself comes after 240 days. Where is the question of failure to pay? Is my GST law is a superior law, or the contract law is a superior law? Hope you could able to appreciate the question. As per my contractual obligation, I am liable to pay to him only after 240 days. But here we have a section which comes out and says, if a supplier fails to pay, correct? If a supplier fails to pay, boss, in my case, there is no failure at all. If I am liable to pay within 60 days and I have not made payment within 60 days and I have not even made payment within 180 days, the GST law has all right to reverse my credit. When the moment we ink our contract, at that time itself we had a consensus that I will pay only after 240 days. Can GST law go and reverse or ask me to reverse my ITC? The answer would be a very simple no. But let me repeat it. This issue is a pure question of law, will be debated in the courts left, right, center, preferably from larger corporates perspective. See, no small corporate can survive for that period. 180 days is a huge period, half year, 6 months. 6 months and all credit period you have to give means you should sit on a hefty reserve and then do the business. Not a startup and all cannot do. Startup and all 10 days, 15 days they can survive because they want more working capital. See, the issue here is working capital. I have to float. My money has to keep on flowing in. Any case, our intentions fails to pay. Appreciate that word, more important. Moving forward. Sir, I have made a failure to pay now. On 181st day, my ITC was reversed. But on 280th day, I paid the supplier. Can I reclaim the reversed ITC? The answer is yes. A reversed ITC can be reclaimed. Rule 37. Remember, two rules will come into discussion for section 16. Rule 36 and 37. There is no time limit for claiming of or reavailing of any credit reversed or added back. There is absolutely no time limit for reclaim of credit. Consciously, government has given this, which means end of 181st day, if you have not paid your supplier within 180 days, and it's a general understanding, nobody will give more than 180 days period. If they give, then that's a separate issue, as we discussed, a separate case, special circumstance. Normally, no one gives. If that be the situation, a major question that comes up here is if a person does not make payment, ITC need to be reversed. Whenever he makes payment, he can reclaim the credit. Sir, whenever, sir, after 2 years, after 3 years. See, when law does not speak about any time limit, then there is no time limit. Can we move forward? Yes. 16.3 talks of claim of depreciation. What do we mean by claim of depreciation here? What is something important or interesting here? First aspect I'll share you. Either a benefit of depreciation should be enjoyed or a benefit of ITC should be enjoyed. A company purchase an asset for 1 crore rupees. A company purchase an asset for 1 crore rupees, 100 lakhs. Okay. They get an invoice which says machine cost is 100 lakhs plus GST at 18%, which comes up to 18 lakhs. Now, total value of invoice. Total value of invoice is rupees 118 lakhs. Now, question before us on what depreciation can be availed as per section 32 of Income Tax Act. Yes. One. One more. Just across this. My question is a very fundamental question. On what value I'm entitled to claim ITC is going to be a question. Yes. Can I claim the ITC on 100 lakhs or 118 lakhs? Okay. So you would recommend what? My next question. You would recommend what? Claiming ITC or claiming depreciation, which is beneficial for an organization. Preferably, if you are a CMA student, you should be aware of this point. Okay. Is depreciation is beneficial or ITC is beneficial? Which is beneficial? Balaji. Pick. Which is beneficial, depreciation or ITC? Quick. See, ITC or depreciation, which is beneficial? See, I am not bothered about the 100 lakhs. See, 100 lakhs, you're entitled for depreciation. For that 18 lakhs only is the question here. 18 lakhs, either you can claim depreciation benefit or you can claim ITC. If you claimed ITC, no depreciation. Sir, where it is told? GST. Again, come back to income tax. Section 32 will also say, if you claimed any credit, that value should be reduced from your block value. You are not eligible for depreciation. So it is not mutually inclusive. It's mutually exclusive. We are not questioned. See, many times people misunderstand here. A lot of our friends misunderstand this topic exactly here. Depreciation கிடையாதுப்பா, depreciation கிடையாதுப்பா. எதுக்கு depreciation கிடையாது? 18 lakhs. No ITC if the depreciation is claimed on the capital goods or plant and machinery on the GST portion. Sir, on the GST portion, I have never claimed ITC at all. Go and claim depreciation. Sir, on the GST portion, I have claimed ITC, sir. Then you are not eligible for depreciation. Mutually exclusive. I have asked a fundamental question, which is beneficial, depreciation or ITC. A few of you told depreciation, a few of you told ITC. Answer would be ITC. No doubt. Mark my word. Depreciation on that 18 lakhs, you save tax only 30% or maximum 35%. Yes or no? On that 18 lakhs into 35%. That too over a period of minimum 10 years. Done? Now, to the contrary come. That 18 lakhs equal to 18 lakhs of my GST liability 100% cost saving, able to appreciate it. ITC is more beneficial. ITC is more beneficial, provided you have output tax liability. Sir, I don't have an output tax liability, then this question itself will not come. Okay. When you can claim credit, when you have an output tax liability, then only you will claim credit. When you don't have an output tax liability, you are not eligible. I mean, it is better not to claim credit. I mean, again, it is not eligible to claim credit. So core discussion is that many times it is misunderstood. How many times you want, we can repeat it. Make yourself comfortable. In the example that we took also, 100 lakhs base value plus 18 lakhs GST, 118 lakhs total invoice value. If ITC is claimed, my value for depreciation, on what I will calculate depreciation, 100 lakhs. On 18 lakhs, ITC claimed. So no depreciation on the ITC portion. Sir, ITC not claimed because they are partly need to reverse, they are ineligible, they have a small excise turnover, sorry, they have a small taxable turnover. So they have not claimed, sir. Good. At that time, it's better to claim what? Depreciation. So it is either depreciation or ITC. Of these two, whichever is most beneficial to the supplier. All those invoices based on which credit is taken, all those credit has to be taken within the time prescribed. What is the time prescribed for taking input tax credit? When we get into those aspects, the time prescribed for taking input tax credit is subsequent financial year September return filing due date, or filing of annual return of this two, whichever is earlier. Subsequent financial year September month return filing due date. Financial year 1920, subsequent financial year September month return filing due date. September's return filing due date. That date, or filing of annual return for the financial year 1920. Generally, annual return comes in next year, December 1920. Due date for annual return is December 20. Either September return filing due date or filing of annual return. Of these two, whichever is earlier. Can I file my annual return earlier, sir? Yes, you are most welcome. Once it is notified, you can file. It's like income tax, it has to be notified. Once it is notified, you can file. No questions, no one will ask you any information. So automatic means absolutely automatic. So coming back here, some important aspects on time limit. This is largely applicable for B2B invoices and debit notes, business to business invoices where we take credit and debit notes. A few aspects are still open here in terms of this, which is relating to Rule 36. Section 16 has to be discussed along with the Rule 36. 4 sub-rules are there. I'm not inclined to push and press you during the fag end of this session. Having next 5 minutes left, I don't have much to discuss on this aspects. Make yourself comfortable. Just 4 major areas. Only a registered person is eligible to claim credit, and as long as goods is used or intended to be used in the course or furtherance of business, a person is eligible to claim ITC. If a person wants to claim ITC, he has to satisfy 4 conditions. He should have received the goods or services. He should be in possession of a valid invoice or a debit note. Third, he should have, his supplier should have paid tax to government. His supplier should have filed the return. If all these 4 conditions are satisfied, a person is eligible to claim credit. If goods comes in lot, after receipt of last lot, ITC can be claimed. If a person has claimed ITC, he need to ensure that he pay his supplier within 180 days. Sir, if I don't pay, what will happen, sir? 181st day, ITC will be reversed along with interest at the rate of 18% from the date of availment till the date of reversal. 50 subsection 1 will talk about interest. So followed by 16.3 time limit. As far as time limit is concerned, before filing September due date, before filing September return of subsequent financial year or filing of annual return, ITC to be claimed. If any missed out ITC of that year, generally that month credit, they will claim in that month. If in case somebody misses next year before filing September or annual return of this two, whichever is earlier, either the benefit of depreciation can be enjoyed by a person on the tax portion, GST portion, or benefit of ITC. Both are mutually exclusive. Yes. So points for our discussion. This sums up our aspects associated with it. Ramesh, I do understand the PPT is not in a little shareable mode. By today or tomorrow, I'm sending it to them. Maybe from them, you will get it either the PDF version or the printed version. I'm not sure about it. From my end itself, it has not been shared, just for your information. Been into some other work again, trying to push and conclude it. One part is getting concluded by today mid-afternoon. So maybe I'll be sharing by the evening or late evening, and either tomorrow, how they are going to decide, I don't know. Based on that, it will come. From my end, plain PPT cannot be shared, Ramesh. Okay. So we'll do one thing. We'll wind up today's discussion at this level. And any doubts? Yes, I'm ready. We can take it up. Else, I thank you all for effective and patient listening. Thank you. Yes, Ganapati.
Sir.
You can unmute. Yeah.
Sir, நீங்க சொல்லியிருந்தீங்களா சார், சப்ளையர் வந்து பே பண்ணியிருக்கணும் அப்படின்னு டாக்ஸ் வந்து ஏ இருக்காரு சார், ஏ அண்ட் பி வந்து ஏ வந்து சப்ளையர், பி வந்து ரெசிபியன்ட் சார். இப்போ அதாவது பி வந்து எப்போ கிளைம் பண்ணலாம்னா ஏ டாக்ஸ் பே பண்ணிருந்தா தானே சார். அப்புறம் இன்னொரு ப்ரொவிஷன்ல சொல்லுது இந்த மாதிரி 180 days கழிச்சு அது வந்து யாரு சார் பே பண்ணிருக்கணும்? பி வந்து ஃபர்தரா சப்ளை பண்ணாவா?
பி வந்து பி வந்து ஏக்கு பேமெண்ட் பண்ணணும்ல.
ஆமா சார்.
அது 180 daysக்குள்ள பண்ணணும். கணபதி, நீங்க எனக்கு குட்ஸ் விக்கிறீங்க. I am eligible to claim credit only if Ganapati, I am eligible to claim credit based on Ganapati's invoice. 2, I am eligible to claim credit if and only if Ganapati has paid tax to government and Ganapati has filed a return. Correct?
Yes, sir.
I am eligible to claim credit. Now, is it not my responsibility to pay you the value of goods and the tax amount?
Yes, sir.
16.2 proviso says Ganesh Prabhu has to make payment to Ganapati within 180 days from date of invoice.
Okay, sir. பட் ஆனா ஐடிசி நான் முன்னாடியே கிளைம் பண்ணிரலாம்.
ஐடிசி நீங்க எடுத்துக்கலாம். ஆனா நான் எடுத்துக்கலாம் ஐடிசிய. உங்களுக்கு பேமெண்ட் மட்டும் 180 days பண்ணணும். சார் பண்ணலைன்னா என்ன ஆகும் சார்? என்னைக்கு நீங்க கிரெடிட் நான் எடுத்தேனோ அன்னில இருந்து என்னைக்கு நான் ரிவர்ஸ் பண்ண போறேனோ அந்த பீரியடுக்கு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் கட்டணும். அவ்வளவுதான்.
எஸ் சார், எஸ். தேங்க்யூ சார். அதே மாதிரி நம்ம 100 lakhs and 18 lakhs சொல்லியிருந்தீங்களா சார்? இப்போ அந்த 18% நம்மளால டெப்ரிசியேஷன் இல்லைன்னா ஐடிசி கிளைம் பண்ண முடியும். ஸோ அந்த பேலன்ஸ் 100ல நம்ம டெப்ரிசியேஷன் கிளைம் பண்ணலாம்ல சார்?
பேலன்ஸ் 100 பத்தி இங்க டிஸ்கஷனே இல்ல கணபதி. பேலன்ஸ் 100க்கு கண்டிப்பா டெப்ரிசியேஷன் உண்டு. இந்த 18க்கு மட்டும் தான் டிஸ்கஷன் வருது. ஓகே, எல்லாருமே நம்ம அந்த 100ஓட ஈக்குவேட் பண்ணிக்கிறோம். ஓகே, அதனாலதான் இன்ஃபேக்ட் நான் நியூமரிக்கல் நம்பரை வச்சு சொல்றேன். 100க்கு டிஸ்பியூட்டே கிடையாது. 100 யாருமே क्वेश्चन பண்ண போறது இல்ல. ஓகே, இந்த 18க்கு நீ என்ன பண்ண போறீங்க? ஜிஎஸ்டில கிரெடிட் எடுக்க போறீங்களா? ஆமா. அப்போ ஜிஎஸ்டி லா என்ன சொல்லுது? டெப்ரிசியேஷன் கிடையாது. இன்கம் டாக்ஸ் லா என்ன சொல்லுது? டெப்ரிசியேஷன் கிடையாது. எதுல? ஜிஎஸ்டி போர்ஷன்ல. ஜிஎஸ்டி லாவும் எதுல சொல்லுது? ஜிஎஸ்டி போர்ஷன்ல. ஓகே சார், நான் டெப்ரிசியேஷன் எடுக்கல சார். அப்போ உனக்கு டெப்ரிசியேஷன் சாரி ஐடிசி எடுக்கல அப்பனா என்ன? உங்களுக்கு டெப்ரிசியேஷன் எலிஜிபிள்.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Yes, Vishnu sir.
சார் இன் கேஸ் பேட் டெப்ட்ஸ் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா சப்ளையருக்கு எப்படி சார் இம்பாக்ட் ஆகும்? டாக்ஸ் பே பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பாங்க சப்ளையர் கவர்மெண்ட்.
பேட் டெப்ட்ஸ் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா சப்ளையர் எப்படி இம்பாக்ட் ஆகும்னா எனக்கு புரியல.
சப்ளையர் வந்து டாக்ஸ் பே பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பாங்க சார், அவன் சப்ளைக்கு கவர்மெண்ட் பே பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பாங்க.
ஆமா,
அது பேட் டெப்ட்ஸ்
ரெசிபியன்ட் பே பண்ணல, கரெக்ட்டா? அப்பதானே பேட் டெப்ட்ஸ்.
ஆமா சார், ரெசிபியன்ட் பே பண்ணல.
சப்ளையருக்கு
அவனுக்கு சப்ளையே இல்ல சார். அப்போ சப்ளையருக்கு சப்ளையர் மாதிரியே இருக்காது, ஆனா டாக்ஸ் கட்டி
P&L சார்ஜ் பண்ண வேண்டியதான் சப்ளையருக்கு காஸ்ட்.
பண்ண மாட்டாங்களா சார்? ஆனா கவர்மெண்ட்
என்ன விஷயம் சார்?
ஜிஎஸ்டி.
உங்க வாய்ஸ் நடுவுல பிரேக் ஆச்சு.
இல்ல சார், கவர்மெண்ட் வந்து ரீஃபண்ட் பண்ண மாட்டாங்களா?
அதே இருக்கு. நீங்க போயிட்டு அவனை கன்சியூமர் கோர்ட்ல போயிட்டு கிழிங்க, இல்ல வந்து கான்ட்ராக்ட் லால அவனை கிழிங்க, அதெல்லாம் கவர்மெண்ட் ஆகாது. See, you have supplied me goods, Vishnu, 100 items for 10,000 rupees plus GST of 1,200. I have claimed credit. Okay. I am duty bound. I am duty bound to pay you within 180 days. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
You are duty bound to report to government on the day one when you raised invoice. Adane ungalku time of supply.
Yes, sir.
Tax கட்டிடுவீங்களா கவர்மெண்ட்டுக்கு?
No.
இப்போ நான் என்ன சொல்றேன், பேமெண்ட்ல என்னால தர முடியாது, உன் குட்ஸ் எல்லாம் இல்ல, அதெல்லாம் எவாபரேட் ஆயிடுச்சு, ஒண்ணுமே கிடையாது, போயிட்டு வா அப்படின்றேன். What option you have? You have no option but to write off in the books of accounts. கரெக்ட்டா?
Yes sir. அப்ப ஃபுல்லா லாஸ் ஆன P&L.
இப்போ P&L சார்ஜ் பண்ணுவீங்கல, அப்போ 10,000 சார்ஜ் பண்ணுவீங்களா இல்ல 11,200 சார்ஜ் பண்ணுவீங்களா?
GST போர்ஷன் சேர்த்து தான் சார்.
11,200. அவ்வளவுதான். நான் பே பண்ணல உங்களுக்கு, அதுக்கு 1,200 கிரெடிட் எடுக்க முடியாது. நான் எடுத்திருந்தேன்னா 181st டே நான் ரிவர்ஸ் பண்ணனும் along with interest.
சார் 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 அந்த வேல்யூ ஆஃப் சப்ளைல பிரீமியம் பார்த்தோம்ல சார். பிரீமியம் இன்சூரன்ஸ் பிரீமியம். இன்சூரன்ஸ் பிரீமியம் அது வந்து அந்த பாலிசி ஹோல்டர்ல இருந்து அவன் எப்படி சார் GST ரிகவர் பண்ணுவான் இன்சூரன்ஸ் பிரீமியம்? ஏன்னா வேல்யூ ஆஃப் சப்ளையே நம்ம வந்து அந்த இன்சூரன்ஸ் எக்ஸ்பெண்டிச்சர் அந்த ரேஷியோ வச்சு தானே சார் நம்ம கண்டுபிடிக்கும். ஆனா பாலிசி ஹோல்டர்ல இருந்து நம்ம இன்சூரன்ஸ் வாங்கும் போது எப்படி சார் GST போர்ஷன் சேர்த்து அவன் அந்த இன்சூரன்ஸ்
ஓலால போயிருக்கோமா விஷ்ணு பிரசாத்?
எஸ் சார்.
ஓலால அமௌண்ட் பே பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா ஏதாவது? எனக்கு என்ன ஏதாவது ஒரு அமௌண்ட் சொல்லுங்க.
about 400
ஒரு அமௌண்ட் பே, ஒரு ட்ரிப் போயிருப்பீங்களா, அதுல ஒரு அமௌண்ட் வந்திருக்கும்ல,
400 to 500.
400 rupees பே பண்ணீங்களா? 400 inclusive of tax ஆ exclusive of tax ஆ?
inclusive sir.
inclusive of tax. நீங்க கட்டற பிரீமியமும் inclusive of tax.
18% இல்ல சார், 18.
அந்த பர்சன்டேஜ்க்கு 18 வரும். எதுல கேட்டிங்க பர்சன்டேஜ் வரும்னா?
இன்சூரன்ஸ் பிரீமியம் பே பண்றோம் சார்.
இன்சூரன்ஸ்ல அந்த ஸ்கீமை பேஸ் பண்ணிட்டு 10,000 ரூபாய் பிரீமியம்னா அதுல 30% வந்து எக்ஸ்பென்சஸ் ரேஷியோ. சோ 3,000 into 18 என்ன வருதோ அந்த அமௌண்ட்டை கேப்சர் பண்ணிப்பான் காஸ்ட்ல. சோ கஸ்டமரை 10,900 கட்ட சொல்லு அப்படின்னுவான்.
ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார்.
புரியுதா லாஜிக்? எல்லா இன்சூரன்ஸ் பிரீமியத்தையும் GST உண்டு. GST இல்லாம எந்த இன்சூரன்ஸ் பிரீமியமே இல்ல.
Thank you sir.
Thank you.